Hello my loves, I'm going to be reviewing the Melody Susie Sparkle Efile today and comparing it to my old one, so sit tight and keep watching. Hello! Right, so Melody Susie sent me this Sparkle rechargeable nail drill, I call it an Efile. I already have the Melody Susie Scarlet, which I bought myself. So I'm going to compare the two because there's a lot of similarities and there's a lot of differences, which sounds really strange. I've got the instructions here. So they send you all the instructions and breakdown of how it works and what to do and everything you need to know, which is all very good. We like that. We like instructions. We like problem solving, so misoperation. That's very helpful. The difference between this one and the one I have is that this one has a digital screen that comes up. You'll see my reflection in it. And the back of it is black matte as opposed to my other one. And some of the connection ports are slightly different. So in the box, all nicely packaged. I haven't taken it out. It's all as it was when it arrived. They've sent me two Efile bits, which are both medium. And unfortunately, I needed oh my goodness, can't get my words out. I've got a stinking headache. I do apologise. I needed a harsher grit. There's the holder for the handpiece. And there's also the one that clips on the side of the unit, should you want that unit to be more mobile, clipped on a belt or some sort of like your pinny. Now there's a plug adapter. I struggled with this. I had to get Andrew to sort it out, good old Mr. B, because I couldn't do it. It wasn't easy for me. Bless my little brain. So I was like, this is a bit strange, but I guess it's because it's a universal plug and you can probably get different attachments for different countries, which would make complete sense. So yeah, I tried to fit it and wow, I couldn't, could I? Because I'm stupid. It wouldn't go in. I was like, I don't want to break it. Mr. B took it off me and he was like, there you go, it's done. I'm like, what's going on? So he took it and sorted it out pretty quick. I was so worried I was going to break it. So yeah, it's like, give it here, you silly woman. Okay, so there it is. It was slightly it didn't fit perfectly. It was a bit on the wonk, but it was all right. It worked. And I think that was me not knowing how to use that part very well. Onto the handpiece. Now, this handpiece is completely different to the other Melody Susie Efile I've got, and I will show you the comparisons because everyone likes a different handpiece. This one is slimline, and it's got a metal grip area. Nice long lead. I'm just going to grab my current Efile out of the drawer so you can see a comparison on it. So this is one I have. It does not have a screen. It just has these controls and the back is metal, but the handpiece is really different. It's a lot wider and it's got a rubber grip. Everyone's different with what they prefer. See, there's a huge difference in the handpiece. So it's down to you on whether you like a more slimline handpiece or a wider handpiece. I personally prefer the handpiece on my original one because I get painful fingers, so the soft rubber is a lot nicer for me. So I'm going to attach the handpiece. And then I was going to check that it was rotating and see what the charge is and see if the screen comes up. I'm just untangling everything. So I'm turning it on, initializing, and then up comes the screen, tells you what RPM you've got it at. My battery was a bit low, so I thought, right, let's pop it on charge. And then while it was charging, as you can see, I actually took all the crystals off of my, not flexi hand, my practice hand, Quarantina. So got the crystals off of her and thought, right, now I'll use the Efile to remove the bulk. I'm resting this hand on my new manicure pillow, which is an arm cloud. It's from Australia, and I won it in a giveaway. It's amazing. It's like a chair for an arm, and it has the client's arm up nice and high. I'm using my extra coarse, that's the word I was looking for, bit from Nailmate, because that's what's going to get through this acrylic. Now, I am going to test both hand pieces and see how they fare against each other, including the noise. So does it sound like it's struggling? And also how well the removal does. So there you can see I've got it up to 35 RPM, which is the maximum, 35,000. I'll get my dust collector out because I don't want to be covered in dust. And we're going to see how it fares, including the noise. Now, for me, I felt like this handpiece was struggling a little bit. It didn't remove it. I didn't feel as efficiently as the other handpiece, so I decided to test them against each other, and it was quite noisy. Now, I know that when you're doing it on a practice hand and a long extension, it is going to make more noise, but I just felt like the handpiece didn't have the same torque. And that's the key to a swift removal, is having a handpiece with good torque. Yes, a lot of companies seem to have the same base unit, but if the handpiece doesn't have a good torque to it and it isn't sort of as well built, that's where you'll struggle with the removal process. So this is how I did it on this particular nail. Still going, as you can see. And then what I did was switch over to the other handpiece and do another nail and compare the noise. So I'm going back to my original. I think this is the Scarlet from Melody Susie, and I've never had any trouble with this one. The first one I got, I dropped and broke after about 9 months. So this is my preferred handpiece, just because of the way it feels. So I'm going to set that up with the same bit, on the same torque, on the same rotation, like 35,000 RPM. So whacking it up to maximum, so it's on the same, and we'll see if it sounds different and if it performs differently. I'll let you watch. Right, so I felt that this handpiece was not as noisy, as high-pitched, so it didn't sound like it was struggling, and it definitely removed the acrylic faster and more efficiently. It felt better as well. In my hand, there was less kickback and less struggle. It really got through it quite nicely. Look at the difference, and quite quickly. So I prefer this handpiece, I have to say. I like the unit on the new one, the Sparkle, but I prefer the handpiece on the Scarlet. And that's just my honest opinion. I'm not bound to say that the one they've sent me is the best one in the world, because I feel the model before was actually a lot better. I mean, look how quickly it's eating through that, and I've never had any trouble with this particular one I've got. So for me, I'll be sticking with this handpiece because I feel it's better. This one's, Milo, dog's trying to jump up. This one's a bit too thin for me, and the metal I'm just not as comfortable with. So although I love the new unit with its like swishy screen and all the fancy digital thing, I think by doing that they've compromised on the quality of the handpiece. So yeah, for me, I'm going to stick with the one I already had. Anyway, thank you for watching. Tally bye.